2007 National Petroleum Council conference about the future of carbon capture. He said CCS technology, quote, has never been demonstrated at scale. It is a huge, huge undertaking. People just assume that it can happen. You can't assume that's going to happen, unquote. Yes, yet big oil continues to endorse carbon capture.
More relief bills need to be passed in Congress. Chuck Schumer has also confirmed that he's been having private conversations with two holdout Democratic senators on making big changes to the filibuster. Schumer even admitted that pushing through a rule change like this at least would be an uphill climb, but a climb that needs to be made to help the American people. And changing the filibuster is actually an idea that is supported by several Senate Democrats that want to get President Biden's bill passed as quickly as possible. And there are Republicans and a few Democrats that are currently standing in the way of passing Biden's economic agenda. The Senate has a long-standing practice of allowing any one senator to object to proceedings, and what's generally referred to as a filibuster can pause action and even on votes. This is what is known as a filibuster, and as the country and Congress has grown more partisan, the filibuster has actually become a key practice used by both parties. Year by year, everybody, more and more senators threaten to wage filibusters to block legislation. Overcoming filibusters can take days, if not weeks. Even without a senator holding the floor, filibusters have forced senators into all-night and weekend votes to advance the bill. And that happened during the passage of the Affordable Care Act. So it would make a huge difference if the filibuster is actually removed from the Senate. But do you think it should be done? Tell me your thoughts on this, everybody. I want to see President Biden do a better job in helping out the American people with the fourth stimulus check. He definitely must do this. And if you guys agree with me, then comment down below. So I'm actually keeping an eye out on the House of Representatives and the Senate, and all members of Congress on what they say about the fourth stimulus bills. Thousands of small businesses have been hit hard by this crisis, and so Congress could definitely be looking into providing stimulus payments for small business owners. Lawmakers also need to send more financial aid to senior citizens and SSI, SSDI, and RRB beneficiaries. So there are many measures of the past day stimulus packages that are unfortunately not in effect right now. It is very possible that lawmakers will still reinstate these measures. And now this includes a monthly unemployment boost for Americans and also another round of stimulus payments. I definitely expect Congress to make at least a $1,400 stimulus check available to Americans in the country starting all this year. This is especially with unemployment claims rising very quickly over the past few weeks. Many people are blaming the surge of jobless claims on the ongoing crisis, and Congress will be forced to take action if claims continue to increase. CBS News has actually released a report that showed about 25% of Americans have actually struggled to pay their rent and their monthly expenses over the last couple of weeks. Now, many people are actually blaming the surge of jobless claims on the ongoing crisis, and Congress will actually be forced to take action if the claims continue to increase. So CBS News has released a report that showed about 25% of Americans have struggled to pay for their monthly expenses. Still, millions of Americans have been impacted by the pause in the expanded monthly child tax credit payments as well. It is really sad that Congress has not taken action for the American people yet, and they cannot leave us in the dust. A fourth check has to be sent out this year. But at least there are several lawmakers that are actually in favor of more relief in the form of new direct payments. There have been nearly 3 million people that have signed an official change.org petition, showing their support for further financial aid. The petition makes it clear that Congress needs to sign off on recurring $2,000 monthly payments, and I definitely agree. A $1,400 stimulus check would be great, but it's not enough. So I believe a payment of $2,000 should be sent out every month to all senior citizens and Social Security beneficiaries. It's actually reported that the third stimulus check of $1,400 did not last very long for many Americans. That's why it's important that the payments are made every month. A group of Democratic senators have publicly shown their support for recurring checks that will be tied to the current economic conditions of the United States. And I'm really glad that there are some lawmakers in Congress that do actually care for the American people.
Dr. Mann, have there been advancements in CCS technology that make you believe it will perform as advertised by fossil fuel companies?
No,